Welcome back to another fun-filled adventure here on Punky's World. I have another appliance that doesn't work that I need to take a look at it. And would you believe it or not, it's also a Viking microwave. Let's dive into it and see if we can't give it a college dropout try and get this thing functioning again. Come on. Woo! Look at this thing. Super fancy. Nice. Look at this thing. It's a convection microwave. That means it's expensive. Not only does this thing pop your popcorn, but you can use it like a regular oven because it's a convection oven built into this microwave. You know what that means? Cha-ching! So let's see if we can't get this thing to function again, put it up for sale, and make some profit. Okay, like all of the videos, my favorite test of all is the smoke test. Let's plug it in and see if she smokes or catches on fire. Nothing. No smoky. No lights. Let's make sure we got power going to this. So there's power going to the back of this unit. Looks like we're gonna have to dive in here and do some testing. Now remember, unplug your units if you're gonna open up the top on your microwave. Be aware there are capacitors in here. You need to discharge them as well so you don't get zapped. Be on the side of caution when you're opening these up. So let's start unscrewing this bastard. Here we go. Now, like every video, I always tell you, don't forget your plastic bag. Put all the freaking screws in the plastic bag. In the bag. Black ones go on the side of the microwave. All the silver ones go on the back. Got all the screws, zip it up, and okay, let's get the cover off on this thing. Okie dokie, we got the cover off. All right, what do we got here? What are we seeing? What's happening? So what exactly are we looking at here? We got a capacitor, we got a transformer, we got a fan here, we have the light bulb on top. So far I see nothing that is burnt in here. The previous microwave we did, we saw that there was a big burn on the power board where the noise filter was. I don't see anything burnt on this board. So we need to do some tests to figure out why it wouldn't turn on. Now there's a few reasons why it won't turn on. It could be a blown fuse, it could be a bad micro switch, it could be a cooked wire. But let's do some preliminary checks and figure out why we're not getting power to this. What is going on? Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna plug it in. All right, we got power going to there. Not getting power. Oh, okay, so we got power going to it because obviously it's transferring it from over there. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna test some of the micro switches with the voltmeter, but we're gonna unplug the unit first. I'm gonna shorten along the capacitor here. So I have a meter right here. If you can hear that beep. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna test some of these micro switches in here. There's times when this happens where if you don't have any power going to your unit, it's probably a bad micro switch, because if one of the micro switches are failing, it's a safety. So that way you can't open this microwave up and microwave something with the door open. So the door is open right now, and we need to see if these switches are working properly. If they're working properly, well, the problem lies somewhere else. But I keep getting off topic here. Let's check fuses first. That's the first thing you should do. If you have a microwave that's not turning on, let's look for a fuse first. So I see a fuse right here. And we're gonna just take the meter and we're gonna check it. Maybe that's a reason why it's not working. So I got one end right here. Let's see if we get a noise. Oh, okay, so that fuse works. So that's not the problem. Okay, well, while we're in here, let's check micro switches. So this microwave, it looks like has 1, 2, 3, looks like 4 micro switches from what I'm seeing. So we're gonna test them. And let me point out with the meter which one it is. This is a micro switch, this is a micro switch, and there's 2 micro switches up on the top right here. There's one right there, and there's another one right here. So how we're gonna test them is, we have the door closed, and I can see when I open this up, this thing, it releases the micro switch. Right now, the switch is probably connected. If I open it, it lifts up on the switch. So let's just test that one. We should get a beep out of it if the door is closed, but it's not. It's not closed. So let's close it. Let's see if we get a beep on it. Okay, this micro switch is good, so it's doing its job. Now, let's check this one right here. Okay, let's open the door. Okay, that micro switch works. Let's check this one right here. That one's working. We'll open the door and see if we have another beep. No beeps. We close the door. We test it. All right, we have a beep. Cool. Let's check this one up at the very top. Gonna touch right here and here. We have a beep. We open the door. No beeps. Close the door. And we have a beep. So these micro switches are working properly. So it seems like we exhausted a lot of the test points, but there's one other thing we did not check yet, and that's the thermal cutoff switch. And that is this guy right here. It's your thermal cutoff switch. We're gonna put this on ohms again. It'll go beep. All right, we're gonna test this and see what we get. I think we figured out our problem right here. Something's up with this thermal cutoff switch. It should be working, and it is not. All right, let's take this out of here and let's take a look. Okay. Yep, got that one and got that one. Well, I guess while it's out here, we can test it outside of the deal. No, nothing's happening with this. Okay, it's a 20 amp, 130 degrees Celsius, LB20130V8211. Well, let's look it up and see if we can order one of these and have it shipped here, and maybe this will be our problem. I wonder if these are serviceable or not. Maybe we can refurbish this ourselves, and I think that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take this apart and see what is inside of this, because I really am not 100% sure. I know there's some sort of a thermal deal, but like, I wonder if there's a disc inside of here or what we're involved with. If I can refurbish this, I can get this unit back on its feet right now and be done with this. Otherwise, I have to wait for the other unit to show up. So we're gonna take a college dropout try, and we're gonna see if we can't open this up and see what's inside of this thing, because I've never taken one of these apart before. Okay, so I'm getting the tab to kind of come off there. That's good. There probably is a little disc in there or something similar to that. Okay, all right. Top's coming off. Careful, we'll separate it gently. Okay, yeah, so it is like a little tab holding it. Oh, there we go, okay. All right, so you got a metal here. Looks like we have a little white part, okay. Oh, don't want to drop anything. There's this. There's a spring. Hey, there's a fuse in there. What?
No
way. Look at that. There's a little fuse. Okay. So there's really nothing to this then. And let's just confirm that fuse is no good. See? Yeah, that fuse is blown. It just says 20 amp on it, so okay. Could be like a slow blow fuse. And you know, I think I have one of these fuses actually. Let's go into the capacitor box. Oh, I do have some. Guess we'll drop in this fuse like this. Push this spring into this little guy right here. Okay. Try not to drop anything. Bend that tab back a little bit. We want it to get back in place. Ooh, yeah. See if it works. It works! Look at that! Huh. One more test just for the kids. Just for all the ladies. Let's do another test for the ladies. Oh yeah, the ladies love it. Perfect. Let's throw it in and see if we can get this microwave to work. Snapped into place, looks like. I guess we could plug it in and see what happens, huh? What's the worst that happens? We gotta do the smoke test all over again. Hold on to your butts.
Hold on to your butts.
Okay. That's working! Look at that! Oh, far out! What? Okay. I think the only honest test we gotta do is just put the cover on this thing and then try to cook some popcorn in this thing. Have a little snacky poo. All right guys, I got my bag of popcorn. I'm gonna plug the microwave in. All right, I'm opening up my popcorn. Let's open it up. Cool. Buttery popcorn. That's how we roll. Buttery popcorn. Clear popcorn. Hey! Look at that! Ha! Yep, something happened. We lost power. I heard something go pop and it blew the circuit breaker for the lab here. I took off the cover and I'm looking at the capacitor and it got hot or something happened. It arced. We may have a bad capacitor. We'll probably have to order one of these or we'll do some testing, but that's not a good sign. But that's probably a reason why the thermal switch blew in the first place. And I tested it and the thermal switch is fine. It's doing its job. So it didn't blow that fuse, but I think something might be up with our capacitor here. So we'll just get another capacitor. We'll throw it in and we'll see if we can't bring this thing back to life. But that's why we do some testing. Okay, so a few days have passed. I was able to order another capacitor, which I have right here. It's pretty much the same as the one that's in there, except the one that's in here is a 2200 volt and this is a 2100 volt versus the other one, which is a 2200 volt. And the microfarad on this one is 1.10 microfarad, and the one that's in this is 0.94. But I still feel like this will be in a good enough tolerance to where it will still work. So we're gonna throw this one in there. We're gonna see what happens. I'm gonna want to take out this capacitor here, but I also need to discharge it. So I'm gonna go like this, discharge the capacitor, because I don't need to get zapped today. All right. Cool. I'm gonna take the terminals off right here. I don't know if you could tell, but it's blown. There's like a blackness and all sorts of shit that was on there. Oh yeah, see that tab right there? So I'm gonna push and it should pull up. Okay, that one's up. This one should probably do the same. Yep, okay, that pulls up like that. Now we just gotta take out the capacitor. I have a bag right here. I'm going to put the screw in there. We're going to take the cap out. And see, it kind of rests in place like that. Cool. I got the new cap. Slide it on in there. There's a little slot right there where this part will slide into. There's this little screw that goes to the back of the oven or the microwave. Okay, that screws in. Connect it here. Okay, it's clicked in. This one right here. That one's clipped in. You know what? Huh. We're gonna put a new end on that. This is a heat shrinked terminal. Oh, my tits. It's too short. All right, we gotta do this again. So I have another wire here. It's a little bit thicker. Can't hurt it. I'm going to attach it to the transformer and then go right here to this capacitor. I'm going to put new ends on it first and then we'll see if this thing will properly work. Put another end on this side. Crimp it down like this. Melting this. Well, it's already locked in place, but we'll put some heat on it, heat this heat shrink. It's there. Go to the top here. Alright. Those are in there. Yeah, while we're in here, might as well replace this diode too. There we go. Oh, okay. So it's crimped in there. This is the new one. I'm gonna have to modify it to make it work with this one. Because this one, it's attached to there like that. So I'm gonna have to modify it just a little bit. There it is. All right, so we're gonna have to put a new terminal on this guy and we will make that work. So we wanna have a new diode. Just gotta clean it up a little more and I will crimp this into the new terminal and I will crimp the other part of the diode in here as well. Yeah, it's gonna work. Yep. So it took me a minute to actually source the part, and yes, I did fix this cutoff switch, but I ended up just buying another cutoff switch anyways, just to be on the safe side, because yes, I put a fuse in there, but I don't know if it was compromised at all when it first blew. And I don't want to take that chance, especially if I'm selling this to somebody. So I was actually able to source the proper thermal cutoff switch, which is the exact one that's for this model. It's 130 degrees Celsius, 20 amp. It was kind of a challenge at first because I couldn't find it anywhere. It was such a pain in the butt, and then like going on the Viking website and looking at diagrams and trying to track down this part, it was futile, and I kept coming up with one that was 150 degrees Celsius, and I'm not going to put one that's higher than what's recommended in this guy. So anyways, long story short, I got the right one. We're going to pop it in there. Since we've replaced the capacitor and we replaced the diode, we might as well finish it off with the correct part that goes in there so that we can sell this thing. And I know that all the parts are properly changed out, and I know the customer's going to be happy with this unit for a long time, and it's a nice microwave. The funny thing is though, is Viking is actually sharp. So when you're buying a Viking microwave, you know, you're paying for the name brand ultimately, but all it is sharp underneath. All the electronics, even the Magnetron on this, I was looking at it, it says sharp right on it. So yep. Keep that in mind when you're shopping for a microwave. You're getting the same quality as you get out of a Sharp unit, but 3 times the price. Let's put this in. There's little pins right here that you have to depress, and then these spade connectors will come right off. Boop, just like that, and boop, just like that. Perfect. Let's pop them back on. Here we go. Boop. You pull these back just a little bit, and it's got a little bubble that will mount, not a bubble, but a little prong that will mount in there, and then it clicks. Oh yeah, baby, get it. We're in the money. It's in there. All right, we'll plug her in, do the old smoke test. Let's see. No, nothing caught on fire yet. That's good. So here we go. Got this popcorn. Would you look at that? Oh, it's cooked. Okay, yeah. We got popcorn here. All right, far out. We got popcorn. Let's do the taste test. Mmm. Delicious. Well, we seem to have fixed the microwave. Thermal cutout switch and a new capacitor. We'll do some more tests on it. We'll try using the convection side and start microwaving some more stuff and see if there's a problem with anything, and hopefully we can just send her on our way and make some money off this unit. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Punky's World. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers! I gotta get better at catching popcorn in my mouth. Wait, one more. For the ladies. Oh yeah, got it. Cheers.